What is up, everyone? I will be talking today about a very good idea that I would love Nintendo to incorporate into whatever project they have coming up next. I had this idea when I was on my way to New York on my last vacation. I had finished transferring all my Pokemon from Pokemon Go to my Pokemon Let's Go, trying to complete my Pokedex. Went to this gas station, used the restroom, and then we also got some food while we were in there. And food was taking a little bit because they were making it fresh. So I left my Switch in the car because I didn't know we were getting food. I thought we were just going to the bathroom. So I left the Switch in the car. I didn't want to carry my Switch inside with me. And then while I was sitting down waiting at the table, I had my phone on me and I was playing Pokemon Go, and I was just spinning the stops around me, catching Pokemon. And I was like, a little blur of reality between playing on my Switch and playing on the phone, because it's become so similar that it almost felt like the same thing, except in Pokemon Go, you can't move around via your phone. You have to physically actually travel to the location, because the GPS tracking and everything. Whereas in the Switch, you can actually move in the virtual world itself. That's where Nintendo could break that barrier. And I will show you an example, like playing the new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. How you can play it on your TV and then you can take it to your Switch. But what if I don't have my Switch on me, or what if my Switch is in my backpack at work, but I'm in the bathroom or something and I don't have my Switch on me, but I have my phone and I just want to game for a little bit, Or what if I forget to bring my Switch? Or the best example is if your Switch dies, and then say you're on vacation and you're in the car, you can't really charge your Switch in the car unless you have a car charger, and even then it'd have to be enough voltage to support charging the Switch without decreasing the battery as you play it. And the best example that came up would be to have Nintendo come out with their own phone. And I know there was talk about it, but can you imagine being able to play Nintendo games on your phone? Now, another example would be the Mario Run that was also out, but it limited a lot of the gameplay. Sure, it was kind of cool, but then there was an issue with having to have internet connection to play, and then not being able to go back in the level, and only basically being able to jump and spin, and that was really it. You couldn't really actually play it. It wasn't immersive gameplay. Now, as far as the example that I show, you've probably seen the phone cases that they have for like Android and stuff, for specifically racing games, where it's just a phone and the phone case goes on it and then it creates extra buttons and the buttons just kind of pop out. I feel like that's what Nintendo would have to go for. And Nintendo making something as a Switch, and iPhone's getting bigger and bigger, and same thing with Samsung's getting bigger with like my iPhone 7. This is not that much bigger than a Game Boy Color. So would it be really crazy for Nintendo to make something like a Game Boy Color that also has internet connectivity, like Wi-Fi, contacts, basically everything that a phone has, make these Game Boy smartphones? And maybe go with a layout more like a Game Boy Advance. That way, like with this thing, you can actually text and Snapchat and everything. But then if you wanted to, you could switch it into landscape mode, and you could play your Game Boy Advance type games, or you could keep it vertical and play Game Boy games. Now there'd be some kind of weird thing, maybe not have physical buttons, but maybe have virtual buttons. Like when you get the Game Boy emulators, you can get the GBA emulators, and then you could play the Game Boy ones like this, or you could play the Game Boy Advance ones like that. And it's possible because people have done it before, so it'd be something around that. But I think it'd be a really cool idea if Nintendo ended up doing that, because I can't tell you how many times I'm on my phone and I'm super bored and I'm just scrolling through my games, and it's like, I don't know what game I want to play. Like, these games are fun, like Temple Run and stuff, and they're all fun games, like Cut the Rope. But then certain games, like Into the Dead 2 is a really good game, great gameplay and everything, but the problem is, because it's a free game, there's a lot of ads, and sometimes there's like a lot of stuff you have to go through. And obviously you can always buy the paid version or pay to remove the ads, but it's just a constant battle. Like every time I get a new game, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it or not, and even then, most of the games aren't worth it because I'm not gonna game on my phone that often, which is why the Nintendo phone idea would be a great idea. because you wouldn't have to necessarily pay for the games that you already have. It would just kind of stream your Switch games to your phone. So very similar to the PlayStation 3/PS4, what they did with the PlayStation Vita. If your PS4 was connected and if the game was in your system, or like, you know, like a digital download to your system, then as long as you had internet connection to both the Vita and the PlayStation, you could play the game on the Vita. So you could be playing Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed or Last of Us on your Vita. You can be in the bathroom and keep gaming on your Vita. And I really like that idea, and that's why I think Nintendo should pick up that idea and keep the ball rolling, because I'm getting tired of Apple phones. Like, these things are always expensive, and the reason I still keep my Apple phone is because I like the simplicity, and I already have like $1,000 worth of music, videos, and music, movies, apps, in-app purchases. I have so much invested virtually, like virtual currency, onto this phone. So if I switched over to Android, I would literally have no games at all, nothing paid. None of my movies would transfer over because they're all iTunes. All the music I paid before Spotify came out. I have so much on this phone that it's like I would lose all that data basically. If Nintendo made a phone, I would switch in a heartbeat, because that means I could play, like if they did Breath of the Wild, I could play on my phone instead of having to play on my Switch all the time or stuff like that. And I think it's an interesting concept. I really wish Nintendo would pick it up, considering they already have the whole Switch Online thing where you can use your phone to talk while you're playing on the Switch with your friends. I don't see why not just work on making the phone, because think about that. Sony had their foot in the phone industry with the Sony Ericsson when they bought out that phone company or whatever they did. Microsoft has their Windows Phone, so really, like, Nintendo's kind of behind on that thing. But think about what it would do, like what they could do with a Nintendo phone. Like, it'd be cool, you know? It'd be really cool to be able to play like the old Pokemon games. Like, I have almost all the Pokemon Game Boy games, but the one I can never find is Pokemon Yellow Edition, because they're usually sold out. Sure, I could probably buy it on Amazon and stuff, but you know, last time I bought a game online, the battery was dead and it wouldn't save anymore, so I'd rather buy it in person, you know, test it out. I just wish Nintendo would get on this, because it's a good idea, it's quality, it could do a lot of things, you know. I really think it'd be a good idea. So please, Nintendo, if you're hearing this, please make the Nintendo phone. You could make something really cool. You could even just simply, because you already have the Switch, even if, like, if it was the thing, even with this tiny screen, which is a pretty big screen for a phone, this isn't even the Plus, this is just an iPhone 7, not a 7 Plus. You could, like, take the Joy-Cons and then snap the Joy-Cons on the side of the phone, and then they would just become an even smaller Switch. But then you would have controllers, so your hand doesn't take up half the screen while you're playing. There's so much innovation that can be made, and you know how Nintendo is with innovation, with like the Wii being an example, like stepping completely out of, like, you know, going out there. I think it's a great idea. I'm sure a lot of people think it's a great idea. I've seen this topic talked about a little bit, and Nintendo mentioned it when they were talking about the phone a while ago. Nintendo, please make this a thing. It could totally work, and I'm dying to have one. I would stand in line. I would camp outside to get one. So please, please, please make it. Thanks for watching the video. I know I've been promising a science video. I'm gonna try my best this week to come out with that science video. I just gotta get gameplay and footage, and then I just gotta put my research together. And I'm actually gonna have to write a script too, so I'm not getting off topic while I make the video. I will be either releasing another video this week as well, or if it's a science one, or I might just have to wait till next week. But I will be putting out new content every single week. Lots of new ideas, just got to get more people, and I got to practice with my special effects. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.